Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, and I'm about to meet the students of the Black Business School and have a class tonight. But before class, I wanted to address something that I saw that kind of got my attention, and I'm not gonna say it frustrated me. It didn't frustrate me because I guess frustrated would mean I expected something at a higher level and I didn't get it. Honestly, I expected this. I was talking to somebody today about Birth of a Nation and also the release of Tyler Perry's movie, Boo. I think it was called Boo. It was, Medea dressed up, him dressed as a woman and doing Halloween. And, the thing is, it's an awkward thing for me to do this because, I know Tyler Perry. I know him and I respect him. I talked to him on the phone. He's a good guy, an intelligent guy. He called me up one time and we talked for about 15 minutes maybe. So we're not the best of buddies, but we did talk. And then also I reached out to him when I was in Atlanta, and he wasn't in town, but he arranged for me to do a 2-hour tour of his studio with his number two guy, who literally gave us two and a half hours to walk around the studio. Nobody else was there. It was really amazing. I was really inspired by what I saw. I thought that the Tyler Perry studio was just one of those beautiful things. It inspired me, actually. It made me think about what we want to build. As soon as I can get enough Black people to get really excited about financial literacy and wealth building, and also understanding the power of controlling the Black dollar. That is one of the gospels that I've been trying to preach for the longest time, is controlling your dollars and also seeing money as a source of your security. Seeing money as a pathway to protecting your family, understanding that most of the problems you have in your life stem from a lack of money. Many of the situations that stress you out come from the fact that you don't have enough money in your bank account, or you didn't save enough money, you didn't learn enough about money, you didn't start your own businesses, so you got to go to work every day and work for a white man who pisses all over you every day because you never were taught to create something of your own. I don't want to be mean about that, but and I'm not being mean, but as a finance professor, it's very frustrating because I'm sitting there thinking, wow, a lot of our problems can actually be cured if we would prevent them. An ounce of prevention is worth 25,000 pounds of cure for a Black person, but yet we won't do the prevention. We like to delay pain. We defer pain. We like to take instant gratification. Not all of us, but many of us do. That's what you've been trained to do. And scientists have actually shown, the Stanford, I think it was the Stanford marshmallow study, showed that children who have the ability to delay gratification at an early age typically end up going on to control the world. They typically end up going on to have so much power in their life, so much personal power, so much achievement, so much success, that they end up dominating the kids who can't learn to delay gratification. The kids who always think about what's going on here and now, right now, what I'm gonna get right now, and that's all I'm gonna get, and I ain't worried about tomorrow. Well, guess what? Next thing you know, you sitting on Facebook bitching about your baby daddy when it was your ass who chose to lay down with him, knowing that he wasn't shit. You bitching about your child support you pay when you the one laid down and made 14 kids with 27 women or whatever the hell. I got the math wrong, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know dudes like that, for real. And I'm not hating on it. I'm not dissing it. I'm not dogging out nobody, but I'm just telling you the damn truth. A lot of the stuff that happens to you is because of you. You are the architect of your own life. You wrote the script for your own movie, and you mad because of the way the movie ended. But you wrote the damn script. How you gonna get mad at your... So basically, the you in the present is sabotaging the you in the future, almost like y'all are two separate people. You do things now knowing you're going to pay a price later on. Oh, I'm going to eat these chicken wings, but I know I'm going to be praying to Jesus in 20 years when I done got heart disease and diabetes because I ain't worried about my diet, right? So you got to just understand that there's a connection between what you do today and how you feel tomorrow. What plans you make now and where you end up later on. What things you do in your life when you're young versus what happens in your life when you get older. What you do with your children today and the life that they have later on. Most of the kids that are ahead of the game, most of the kids that succeed are kids who are prepared for success by their parents, period. You got kids? Are you preparing them? What are you doing for them? What are you doing? Okay. Please share this. If you're on social media, please share this around. Share this with as many people as you want. This sister, Dr. Phoenix has mentioned the Stanford University Marshmallow Experiment. Yes. Look it up. I want y'all to Google the Stanford Marshmallow Experiment. I believe it was Stanford. And I want you to read what it said. Basically, it said that children who could delay, they used a marshmallow to kind of test them out to see which ones could wait to get the reward and which ones had to have it now, which ones were like, you only live once, you got to have it right now. The kids that have the got to have it right now mentality, the ones who couldn't delay gratification, went on in life and were far less successful than the kids who knew how to wait. You got to learn how to wait. You got to learn how to be smart. You got to learn how to make strategic decisions. You got to know how to plant seeds. All investing is, I teach about investing. I'm about to do a class with my students in the Black Business School. You can actually join the blackbusinessschool.com for free, in case you don't know. You can join for free. We give away some free things. The classes also, we do have classes that have a low cost, but, because it's funny. I mean, I'll see people, they'll go give a white man $100,000 to get an education that won't even get him a job, but you sell a class for $50 and people want to lose their damn mind or whatever. I got into a fight with a lady. I started cussing. I was cussing on my Facebook page. I was literally using every goddamn cuss word in the motherfucking book because this lady was like, well, at least Tyler Perry, you dissing Tyler Perry, and at least Tyler Perry's creating jobs for black people, and all you doing is out here selling these classes to people and trying to get black people's money. I said, well, I create jobs for black people too, just like Tyler does, and I sell a product with my business, just like Tyler does. I said the only difference, and I'm not hating on Tyler because I actually like Tyler. I'm telling you the truth. The only difference is that I'm not selling you an image of me wearing a wig and a dress. And that's the difference. I'm selling education. He's selling comedy of himself in a wig and a dress. That's real shit. That's just the honest to God truth. Now, it does not mean that I don't like Tyler Perry, and I want to make sure I'm clear on that because I like this guy. I really do. But I think that you got to be real concerned about a community where none of y'all motherfuckers will go see Nat Turner shit. Y'all don't give a damn about going to see Nat Turner, but everybody will show up in droves to go see Tyler Perry wearing a dress. That is sick. That is mentally ill. That just is, to me, that is the greatest single reflection of where we are right now as a people. And I'm sorry, I hate breaking it down like that, but it's the honest to God truth. Now, because I want to ask you this question, this real talk, real serious question right now. I want you to think about this. Every year, at least twice a year, they put out the Madea movies about twice a year. Every year, black people are fed at least one movie, maybe two, of a black man in a dress and a wig, and he's making people laugh, right? And there's also other black celebrities, other strong black men. They'll put a dress and a wig on them in a second. It takes a long time to remember last time they did that with a white guy, even though there's about 10 times more white actors than there are black ones. But the black ones always end up in the wig and the dress. That's not by coincidence. It's not an accident. They like to see your black men emasculated. If they could walk up in your house and chop your man's dick off, they would do that. That's what they used to do during slavery. So that's what they would love to do, but they can't do that. So they just put them in a wig and a dress and make them non-threatening. Almost like taking a big gorilla or a big bear or a big elephant or a lion and putting them in the circus and putting a clown suit on them. That's what they do. They're putting a clown suit on your men, and that's why you're mad. If you're a black woman, that's why you're mad, because all these men out here are little bitches. You got so many men out here don't know nothing about being no man. Nothing about being no man. And you can't pretend that we're not all involved in the circle of life, because the same women complaining about these men are raising a man at home who ain't being raised to be a man. So in many cases, you're raising something that you yourself would never date, but you like him as your pet. You want him as your surrogate husband, but he's not prepared to be somebody else's husband. So let's stop pretending that it's all on the men. Most of the men were raised by a woman or affected by another man. So we all play a part in this. All of us are connected. I'm not saying black women are all doing it. I'm not saying black men are all doing it. I'm saying we're all doing this together because we're falling for the bullshit. So I want to ask you this question. Every year, black people get at least one or two movies a year of a big black man wearing a dress and a wig, and it becomes the #1 movie in all of Black America. Negroes show up in droves. We'll max out our credit cards. We'll spend every penny. Now you tell them to go buy a book. Some of these Negroes are like, I can't afford a book, but they'll go take the whole family to see Tyler Perry. Okay. Now I want you to go to to give me the counterpart of this movie in the Arab community. Show me a movie that is marketed to the Arab community that features a big Arab man wearing a wig and a dress and making people laugh, where all the Arabs show up and spend all their money going to see this movie. Bet you can't think of none. Go to the Asian community. I want you to find a movie released for the Asians every year that features a big Asian man wearing a wig and a dress, and all the Asians show up in droves and just give all their money to go see this movie. Bet you can't come up with one. Go find one in Africa. You got how many African movies are there like that? You got any African movies where no, we ain't got none there. What about white people? White people crazy. They do anything, right? They want to just make that money, right? So what movie does white America put out every year where they take some of their strongest men and put them in a wig and a dress and make it into a comedy, and everybody shows up, becomes the #1 movie in the world? Do you see the point here? I mean, I could literally go to every Jews. The Jews control Hollywood, so of course they can make whatever movie they want. They can just write the check. They got all the money. What movies do the Jews make where they're taking their strong Jewish men and putting them in wigs and dresses for comedy? See, some of y'all mentioned Mrs. Doubtfire, and I've heard people mention Mrs. Doubtfire on many occasions. Most of y'all wasn't even born when Mrs. Doubtfire even came out. A lot of y'all wasn't even babies yet. That's how far back you got to go to find a white man, an example of a prominent white man in a movie wearing a wig and a dress, where it became one of the #1 movies or one of the top movies in America. You got to go back to the 80s to find that, even though there's 10 times more white actors than there are black ones. So if I can, but with black men, I can name about 7 or 8 examples in the last decade. You had Wesley Snipes. You saw LeBron James doing that commercial. You had Charles Barkley's old punk ass. You can keep Ving Rhames. I mean, I could just keep going down the list of all the cases where they're taking your men and turning them into women so they can dominate you, so they can destroy your community. But yet I don't see that happening anywhere else. Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence. I mean, we could keep on going. We ain't got to stop. If I really wanted to be famous and successful, if I put on a wig and a dress and maybe I was ready to suck somebody's dick in the casting office, I would probably be your next big superstar out in Hollywood. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. So what I'm simply saying to you straight up is that, they're destroying your men. They're ridiculing you. And what I would say to black men, and this ain't no hate on nobody who might have a different sexual preference, who might be gay or whatever. There's gay men that follow me, and I love y'all and I respect y'all too. So don't even think this is an anti-gay thing. But here's the thing. Some of the men might be able to wear a dress, but you can't have every black man wearing a dress. Some of the men can be feminine, but you can't have all the men be feminine. And I'm going to tell you this, and we're going to do a live stream about this a little bit later. I didn't know how to touch this, but I think it's worth talking about. We need to talk about that video, the Q dogs that has been going around the internet. Like, what the fuck is going on in the culture that created that video? If y'all have not seen the video, I want you to go look it up. This video was the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life. Dudes walking around, asses out, pants down, booty out. What the hell? What is that? What the fuck? Seriously. If I'm an Omega man, now people always talk about the Q dogs versus the Omega man. Okay, that's fine. If I'm an Omega man, I go find the Q dogs and I whoop their asses. And I don't even know if that's a Q dog. That's like beyond a Q dog. That's like a Q bitch or something. Maybe there's like a female version of a Q dog or something. I don't know. But I'm gonna tell you this. Omega Psi Phi was actually the fraternity I almost pledged. I was invited to pledge every fraternity while I was in college. All 4 fraternities, or all 4 of the major ones on my campus, the Alphas, the Qs, the Kappas, and the Sigmas, I believe, asked me to pledge. Every single one of them had somebody sit down and say, "Will you join our fraternity?" And it wasn't because I was cool. It wasn't because I was some really amazing guy to hang out with. It was because I had a high GPA. That's why I believe they wanted me, because I would have boosted up the GPA. I don't blame them for that. Omega was the one I came closest to. I was one day away from pledging. I told them yes. And the day before, I was 19 years old. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what these guys were like. I didn't have any sort of preconceived notion. But I remember coming into my room and just seeing these dudes sitting around, drinking, just doing nothing with their lives. And these were the Omegas that I was around. These are the ones I saw on the University of Kentucky campus when I was about to pledge. And as a young kid, I said, that's not a black man to me. That's not manhood. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be around here just drinking all day and getting high and drunk all the time and fucking random women to the point where you got STDs that ain't been invented yet and just and humping each other. I'm like, what is this? Men ain't supposed to be humping each other. How's a man humping another? If you like men, you should be humping a man if you like men. There ain't nothing wrong with it. Go do your thing. But I wasn't gay. I'm not. You put a penis near my ass, you will die that day. And so I just chose not to do it. And I remember when I told them I wasn't going to pledge, they were, they were mad. They were really mad at me. It was very interesting. I was like, why are y'all so mad? I mean, y'all act like I rejected y'all. But I was like, I didn't reject you. I don't want to be a part of this. I said, you're not a real man. I said, my daddy's a real man. My daddy taught me how to be a man. And he taught me that I should never condone ignorance and I want to be strong. And I said, what I see with y'all is y'all drink all the time. You don't study. I said, one day, I told this dude one day, he was a big old football player. I thought he was going to kill me. I really did. And because he was mad that I didn't pledge. And I said, dude, you know what? I said, you're wasting all your opportunities right now. You think you're going to the NFL. Most you play for the University of Kentucky. University of Kentucky football players almost never go to the NFL. And I said, one day what's going to happen is I said, right now I'm going to work hard. I'm going to study hard. I'm going to be successful. And I said, one day some nigga just like you is going to get mad at me. 20 years from now, he's going to get mad at me because I got money and he don't. I'm successful and he's not. And he's going to think it's all because of luck, when really the fact is that when we were young, you wasted your opportunities. And I was up in that damn library. I was in the fucking library working my ass off trying to be somebody in this world. So I remember saying that and sometimes my mouth says stuff. I still do it to this day. Sometimes my mouth will say stuff and I'll be like, boys, you keep talking like this, you're going to get your ass kicked. Even right now, I'm sitting there thinking, man, I don't want to offend the Qs because I respect, there's a lot of Omega men that I really respect. But at the same time, you got to call a spade a spade. I think there's a lot of Omega men out here who are pissed off about this video. That's messing up your brand. That's making y'all look crazy. I met some Qs up in St. Louis when I did that event with David Banner. They were like, hey, Dr. Boyce, we want to send you another video, man, so you really know what the Qs are about. I said, look, I know the diversity of every fraternal organization, and I respect it. I don't think everybody's like that, but I do think that that video was a very bad look. And so right now with the whole black community, it's a very bad look. We are generally we are the laughing stock of the rest of the world. Black man, you can never be the king if you're always the clown. They might pay you. It pays better to be the clown. It's harder to be the king. So you got to ask yourself, am I so addicted to instant gratification that I will take the money for being the clown instead of doing the work to become the king? Are you ready to do the work to become the king, or are you going to take the easy paycheck to be the clown? Because believe me, they will always pay you well to be the goddamn clown. And that's a fundamental fact. So if you are a black man and you want to join our organization, we have an organization called Black Men United. You can go to blackmenunited.net. You can put your name on the list. You'll be an at-large member. It's for black men only. Because we want to build that image of the black man. We want to help brothers that want to be men learn how to be men. All you got to do is go to blackmenunited.net and sign up. Not .com, it's .net. blackmenunited.net, and you can sign up and you'll be an at-large member. We won't charge any membership dues for the first 6 months to a year. Eventually, we'll ask for a small membership due for a full membership in order to pay the expenses for us to hold events. If you love a black man, if you're raising a black man, then bring him out with us. Because I'm an old school Southern black man, and in my house, that little punk shit wasn't played. It doesn't mean you can't be gay. I mean, seriously, if you wake up one day and you're a dude and you happen to be attracted to men, how am I gonna fault you for that? Ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's who you are. I mean, I can't knock that. But at the same time, I think that there are a lot of men who are feminine, who don't understand the masculinity necessary to be a strong man. And what happens is when you're not strong as a man, then you get dominated. And when men get dominated, what happens? They go and they take the women and then they enslave the children. And that's what's kind of happened in the black community. TV shows like Scandal are a perfect example of that. It's like this black woman can't get her a good, strong black man, so she's going to go run up behind the president and the white president become his mistress because she can't do no better than that. So anyway, and your children are being enslaved by the educational system and by media. Those are the two things that are enslaving your children. Black children are being trained to be slaves, and then they become corporate slaves after that. So what happens is you were meant to do 20 feet, to be 20 feet worth of dominant in the world. You were meant to grow to be 20 feet tall, but they got you looking like a midget. They got you looking like Gary Coleman or Webster instead of being Shaquille O'Neal, which is what you should have been. So anyways, blackmenunited.net. And I got to run. I got to go teach this class in the Black Business School. We do have an introductory wealth building class. If you're interested, the first month is free. You can go to blackmoney101.com. That's blackmoney101.com. And also there is a if you want to know about all the programs that we have, write this URL down. People get mad at me because I spit out so many URLs, so I put everything on one location. You can go to blackfinancialliteracy.com. If you go to blackfinancialliteracy.com, you'll see a whole bunch of options we have, ways you can follow me, classes that you can take, programs that we have, ways to get in touch with me. You have a whole bunch of stuff. So go to blackfinancialliteracy.com. Anyway, guys, I'm about to get out of here, and I love you. And I don't know if anybody was offended by what I said, but the fact of the matter is, I just don't care. If we're gonna fight, let's just fight it out, because we're in a civil war right now between the progressive black people and the black people that want to go backward. And so, if you want to be a Sambo, then God bless you. But that's not what's gonna get us ahead. It's only gonna keep you stressed out. So take care, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day. Peace.